That's why. Hey guys, sorry about that. Son of a biscuit. Okay, that one's better. My bad, guys. Let's see here. Making sure everything's lined up right. Just giving everybody a couple minutes to get up in the stream. But while we do that, I've got exciting news. Probably shouldn't have shown the... Yo, spec out my brother. Alright. So, I finally was able to get our first order of hats. And they just got delivered. That's why I was running a little bit behind. Oh, I like it. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get it open here. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, yeah. I like it. The pot leaves are a little hard to... Let's see if we can get it. There we go. So, this is the red flat bill. It's got the snapback on it. This one's got the green underside. Let's see if I can fuck up our camera. Oh, I got to tighten it a little bit. I got a smaller head. Oh, there we go. Oh, I like it, guys. Beautiful. Awesome. So there's the flat build snapback. It is embroidered, so you don't have to worry about it coming off and shit. Oh, let's see. And then for the work hat, since it's hot in the greenhouse, we've got the mesh back on it. I got the black and gray, so it's got the black on the front, same TGC logo. I think I'm going to make some that have the ABG logo as well. Nice. They seem to be pretty good quality. Oh, yeah. I like it, guys. Oh, too tight. Oh. There we go. Nice. All right, cool. Hell yeah, that's awesome. You'll have to send me a picture when you get it. I've got mine on for the stream today. I've got a couple other shirts, but this is probably one of my favorites. I have another one. Well, I had another one that was the other Always Be Growing without the pot leaves on the outside, but my buddy bought it from me. So, all right, perfect. Oh, got the hat in. Thanks, baby. I appreciate you. I like the green underside. You know, I'm happy with the red and green. Cheers, Hasholio. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. All right. Now that we've got our hats opened up, I had to run and grab them real quick. But we got them opened up. They look good. Get that taken off. Made in Bangladesh. Interesting. All right, cool. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to our electrical conductivity live stream here. Oh, this is jacked up this way. All right. There it is. So, we are going to learn about electrical conductivity today. If you don't know, that is how you measure the salts in your Regular water has no electrical conductivity, so it's measuring the salts that you have in there. So when you use the synthetic nutrients, such as the Fox Farm or like we use the General Hydroponics, those can build up in the root zone, and if your plants dry out too much, the salts stay in that root zone, and the EC jumps in the root zone, which actually pulls the water out of the plant rather than the water pulling up into the plant. So, let's see here. Yeah, so pure reverse osmosis water is dead and does not conduct electricity. When we dissolve nutrient salts into the water, it becomes conductive. EC is how we measure the exact chemical strength of our feed. So there's a misconception of electrical conductivity versus parts per million. And parts per million is a mathematically flawed metric. Different meter companies use different conversion scales, like the 500 versus the 700, to guess the ppm based on the electrical conductivity. EC is the universal unarguable metric. We only use EC at the Green Corner. And I will say I definitely do not check my EC enough. I haven't really had any issues because I do keep my plants nice and moist or hydrated. That's the word I'm looking for. Nice and hydrated. We water to that 10 to 20% runoff with each feed, and that's to ensure that we are getting the salts washed out of there, any salts that are trying to build up, and yeah, just make sure that our plants don't lock out our nutrients and start sucking the water out of the plant rather than the plant sucking that water up. So what you want is the water inside of the pot to have a lower EC than the inside of the plant's roots. Then the water will effortlessly flow up into the plant, and the plant will be able to drink that up and utilize those nutrients because they're staying in that water when it's being sucked up into the plant. If you feed your mix too strong, or if your medium dries out too much, the salt concentration in the pot becomes higher than the inside of the roots, and the room will actually suck that water out of the plant, and that's when you start getting that tip burn and that lockout. So, the EC being too high in your root zone is the biggest cause of that lockout and the tip burn on the plants. So make sure you're watering to that 10 to 20% runoff and getting the the salts washed out of there. I also like to use the Enzymes Complete Drench because it helps to break down that the salts as well as the dead organic matter inside of the pot, like any of the roots that got pruned off with our cloth pots and our cocoa coir, or if the plants dry back too much, like if I go out of town or something and I come back and they're wilting, then I will do that Enzymes Complete Drench to really get that root zone hydrated. It helps the plant suck up the nutrients, and like I said, it helps wash any of the dead root mass or anything like that that's in the cocoa coir out the bottom of the pots, and it helps keep that EC down. Excuse me. So, as you guys have seen on our live streams when we're doing our watering, we never mix any of the concentrated nutrients directly together before adding them to the water. Calcium and phosphorus will bind together and turn into a solid, which is called precipitation. and that falls out of the solution, and the plant can't actually drink that up. So you start getting that lockout. So in veg, when I am mixing my what's called CaliMag Dry 420, I mix it into a cup first, the dry nutrients. I mix them into a cup before I actually pour them into the big container, and that's just to make sure that I'm getting those salts broken down really good before adding them to the whole gallon. A lot of times the salts will, like the outside will get crusted up and the inside will just be dry salts, and it'll drop to the bottom. So you want to make sure that you're getting those stirred up really good, agitating them aggressively, and getting that salt broke down before you pour it into your gallon. And then also making sure that you're rinsing out your graduated cylinders between each nutrient and stirring your bucket aggressively as well between each nutrient, especially the CaliMag 420 or the CaliMagic, whichever you're using, and the Flora Micro. It's not as big of a deal between the Flora Grow and the Bloom, but you will have an issue if you try and put the CaliMagic in and then the Micro in and the what's it called? Concentrated nutrients mixed together. Then they'll get that precipitation and that lockout. So just a second. And by doing that, we call that a slurry. So you want to make that slurry first, and then you pour that slurry into the container, and that helps to ensure that you don't get any chunks in there and that those salts actually break down properly. And then let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Oh, I feel like I did skip a little bit. Hold on a second. All right. Okay, so my bad. I jumped one of our portions. I jumped from what it is to how we mix our nutrients and shit without going through how we measure it. So, for measuring, you're going to want an EC meter. I meant to grab mine from the greenhouse before I came back home so I could show it. But I do have one at the greenhouse. I don't utilize it often because I haven't gotten like any nutrient burn or anything really lately. So I have used it a couple times in the past when I let the substrate dry back too much and got some nutrient burn and needed to see if I needed to do a drench or what what needed to happen to get the plants back in order. And that was when I actually decided that anytime I let it dry back like that, we're going to go ahead and just do that enzymes drench to ensure we're not getting any salt buildup in there. But to measure it, you're going to measure your nutrients first. Ooh. Sorry, guys. The writing gets a little bad on the far side. I don't have as long arms as I thought, apparently. So, to measure our EC, we want to measure the nutrients before we water. So you're going to get you can either get a little cup of your nutrients or just put it right in the bucket, measure it, see what it measures to. For this example, we'll just use like 1.5. And then you're going to water your plants, and you want to catch the runoff. And when you do, you want to fill your container to at least 20%. And that is to make sure that your meter is reading it properly. If you don't have enough water in there, it won't read it properly, and you'll be getting the improper reading off of your runoff. So we'll say for this one, our runoff is 2.5. So in this case, if our runoff is at 2.5 and our nutrients were at 1.5, that means that we've got some salts in there. I don't know how to do the little fucking sign for it, but that means that we've got some salt buildup going on in there, and you either need to do some extra runoff when you're watering, or go ahead and do a heavy drench. For one, I mean, you're getting up there, but you want to do a heavy drench and get that runoff to 30%. So when you do that 30% runoff, that's going to help break those salts down, and it's going to help push them out of the substrate and help get your root zones EC back to proper level. And that way your plant is able to drink the water out of the root zone rather than the root zone pulling the water out of your plants. Let's see here. Oh yeah, and that is known as osmotic stress. That's the technical name for that. So, now let's go through our targets of where we want our EC to be at for each stage of growing. So we'll start with clones and seedlings. Oh god, I better put seedlings because seeds is different. Seedlings. So for seeds and seedlings, you want to have the EC super low because their root zones aren't established, their roots are still fresh and trying to grow, so they have delicate hairs on them, and if you dump a bunch of salts on those hairs too early before they are ready, you'll fry them. So we want to keep our EC between 0.4 to 0.6. And that's going to protect our clones and our seedlings and make it so that they're not having the water and nutrients and everything sucked out of them, and they're able to drink up that water without having too much trouble. Sorry, guys. Haven't been paying attention to the chat. I usually try and take a look and answer all of the questions at the end, so I will be checking everything, just kind of glancing as we go, but for the most part, we do try and answer the questions at the end so that we can get through the lesson without me getting too off track. But don't hesitate to drop those questions in there. Like I said, I will be checking the chat as we go and answering all of the questions at the end to make sure that we get everything answered. So, all right, next stage is going to be early veg. And for early veg, we're going to gradually increase that EC so that it supports the new leaf generation and root mass expansion. But since the roots are still relatively new, especially if you just transplanted them into a bigger pot or anything like that, you want to keep that EC lower. So you want to keep that EC between 0.8 and 1.2. And that's going to allow those early roots to start gaining that strength against that electrical conductivity. It's going to be able to start, building up like a tolerance to it. So it can start pulling more in. But in the beginning, when you've got the small plants, you want to make sure that we keep it low and we're not stressing them out too much. Let's see here. Next is going to be late veg, pre-flower, and so that's going to be like our transitioning phase where we're getting that stretch. So about where we're at right now in the green corner in our flower room. We're in that pre-flower stage. Well, we're just hitting the flower stage now. We just got through this pre-flower stage. The stretch is usually where this is. And in the stretch, the plants are getting stronger. They're trying to suck those nutrients up faster so they can aggressively grow up and reach for the light. And for late veg pre-flower, we want to try and keep it between 1.2 to 1.6. And that allows it to take up that nitrogen and fuel the structural stretching and nodal development without putting too much stress on the plant. Because we don't want, it's not at its peak yet. Its peak is when it's starting to bulk up and really put mass on those bud structures. And that's going to be our peak flower. And this is when we want to push the most aggressive EC because the plants are trying to put on that mass onto our buds, onto our colas. And we want the plant to be able to pull those nutrients up and utilize them to the best of their abilities. So, for our peak flowering, like I said, this is the highest we're going to let it get to, and it's at also the biggest window because it is dependent on different strains can handle higher or, want to be closer to that lower end, but it's anywhere between 1.6 to 2.4, and if you're getting up closer to that 2.4, you really want to keep an eye on those leaves, because if you do start seeing the tip burn, then you want to dial it back a little bit, maybe dilute your nutrients some, help the plants be able to suck up the salts that you're putting in there. So this is like when we are using our Fox Farm dry nutrients. It's going to be up closer to this area because they are salts and we are adding them right into that. And then, of course, we've got our late flower where everything's ripening up. It's pushing those essential oils, finishing up the trichomes. Flush. And for our ripening stage and our flushing stage, we want it between 0.0 and 0.4. So that's, basically just plain water. And you want to try and just continuously flush it because you're stripping the medium of any of those residual salts and you're forcing the plant to metabolize its stored reserves so that you don't get that chemically taste in your flour. If you don't flush properly or you don't flush long enough, then you will get the taste of like the phosphorus and the nitrogen, and you'll get that chemical taste in there. Also, your plants, your flour, when you go to combust it, will crackle and sound kind of like a sparkler or some shit. And that's how you know you didn't get a good flush. And you need to flush for either longer or flush more aggressively with more water. Yeah, one of those two should really set you up properly. But you want to make sure you get all of those reserve nutrients out of the medium. That way your plant uses all of its reserve nutrients within itself, and it gets all of that cleared out and can focus on the resin production and the terpene production in the ripening phase. All right. Sorry, guys, almost skipped that part. Most important part, probably, of the stream, where we want to keep our plants at. All right. Make sure. All right. All right, back to the mixing order. So, like I said, we want to start with our CaliMag. Stir. Micro. Stir. Grow. Stir. You don't have to, but I always do. Oh, look at it. Fucked up my arrow. And then bloom. And of course, stir. So once we get all of this put in, these are our base nutrients. And really, if you follow the general hydroponics chart, this should have all of the nutrients that you need to go all the way from seed or germination through harvest. I utilize the Fox Farm dry nutrients for the flower boosting, just so that I can push extra EC to the plants and really make them pull the nutrients in, especially as we're getting further into flower. So we get all of that done, and then we're gonna get our Fox Farm dry nutes. Whoa, nuts, dry nuts, bitch. Sorry, dry nutes. And like I said before, we want to slurry in a cup of warm water to dissolve the salts. Sorry, guys, had to take a second to hook up Fabian real quick. All right. Told you I wouldn't forget today, Fabian. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. All right, where were we? Okay, so we're going to slurry the dry nutrients in a cup of warm water first, so it dissolves the salts. And then once we do that, then we're going to add them to the reservoir or to your bucket. Reservoir, I think that's how you spell it. Or to your bucket, whatever. And stir aggressively. Oh. All right. Then you want to stir aggressively. We've got aggressively capitalized because it's super important that you are stirring it aggressively and getting those salts integrated with the rest of the nutrient regimen in the reservoir. And then at that point, we're going to test it. And you want to test it after you add those salts or the dry nutrients, because those dry nutrients are made of salts and they are going to skyrocket that EC. So you want to test it after you add those. And if it is too high, you can add water and it'll help start to dilute that. Let's see. Open Sesame, Beastie Bloomz. Oh wow, we're just flying through this one. So, our electrical conductivity, like I said, it's how our plants drink or fed. Wow, man, I'm having a time today. Sorry, guys. I've been up since like 3 o'clock this morning, so. Whoops. All right, so it's how our plants feed, and it's really, how strong our nutrients are in our mix, and it's really what runs the growth of the plant. All right. Do. So if anybody's got any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We will be getting everything answered here. Let's see here. Using ppm on a Bly Lab pen? Hell yeah. Well, I mean, as long as it works for you, it's working, brother. I believe you said you use the living soil, which helps kind of balance out your pH and stuff, so you may be all right with your ppm. But I did invest in an EC meter. It was like $100, but it's definitely worth it. That way I know exactly how hot my nutrients are running if I get burn or anything. 750, 500. Yeah, see, they jumped between the 500 and 700 scales, so it makes it a little more difficult to make sure everything's dialed in. Hell yeah, glad everybody's getting along in the chat today. That's great. Are your totes like an Earth box? Oh, hell yeah. Galaxy Solutions LLC. Hell yeah. Yes, they are just like Earth boxes, only they are much larger. They hold 5 gallons of water and 23 gallons of soil. Damn. That's a big box. Yo, Chief, my brother. I appreciate you stopping by, sir. We just went through our electrical conductivity. Was a little quicker than I thought it was going to be, but that's all right. It gives us some time to take questions and stuff and see what everybody else has going on in their canopies as well. Pop us back over here. Check it out. We got our new hats in. Camera's over here. Sorry. Just got our new setup going on. But got our hats in. They're fucking, what's that called? Embroidered. So they're actually stitched in there. And this is our flat bill with the snapback. Nice comfortable fit. Got the green underside. That'll be our during the day hat. And then we've got our like more trucker style with the mesh back. God, I keep trying to show it to the screen. More trucker style with the mesh back. It's also embroidered. Looks really fucking nice. Take the sticker and shit off. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I just opened them up at the beginning of the stream. I was a little late starting the stream because I had to go and run and pick them up. But yeah, they came in finally, and they're looking super good. We got the TGC logo on these ones. I'm going to get some made up with the ABG, or Always Be Growing. And then, I don't know if I'll have we'll probably do some sort of different, like, circle around them, or something different. But I do like the Always Be Growing with the TGC logo on there. Definitely came out fucking fantastic. Had to order the red one so it matches the red shirt. 8 more days till you're on vacation. Hell yeah, Chief. That's what I'm talking about, brother. I hope you have a blast. Oh, down too far. Goodness gracious. Hell yeah. I like the black one as well. I think I like the red one. Well, I don't know. I think I like them both about the same. The red one, I have a lot of red shirts and shit. So, and red's probably one of my favorite colors. And then, gotta have the green with it, because, you know, cannabis. Hell yeah. Beautiful. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat. We operate out of Colorado. We're on the western slope here. Oh, yeah. Also, if you guys haven't heard, I did drop an announcement video this morning, but hey, cheers, Chief. I appreciate you, brother. But I have been speaking with the man who is putting together our Western Slope Cannabis Cup, and have been chosen to be on the panel, on the judges panel. So, your boy will be going to, there we go, the judges meeting in like 2 weeks. It'll be on the 24th of this month. I'll be going and meeting up with the other judges on the panel, and meeting up with Matt. Baked with Matt is the guy who put it together. He's a big influence here in our western slope of Colorado. And I've been talking with him kind of since he got his ganja years license, and I really started getting my social media and stuff started up. And hell yeah. Beach is gonna be fire. Fuck yeah. What app are you using to stream? It's not YouTube. You're right, it's not YouTube. I'm utilizing OBS Studio to stream. So that way I can have the multicam set up. We can jump back and forth. I've got my microphone and shit. That way our audio's a lot better than when we're in the greenhouse, and you guys can hear us better. We got the OBS Studio running on our actual desktop rather than trying to run it through the fucking laptop and everything. Where'd I put the laptop? Still got the laptop, of course, but it's more of the mobile rig, and I'm looking to see if there's maybe like an antenna type thing or something I can hook onto it that'll help with the Wi-Fi. But yeah, you can change the view from horizontal to vertical and all that. But through OBS, I just set it up so that my webcams actually pick it up and do it sideways. So you guys were a nice little fucking little webcam there for a minute. I think. There we go. Don't mind the mess in the background. I've got 3 children, so you can see. It's a mess. We live in an apartment for now. Our lease is up here next month, so we're going to be looking for a house. Hopefully moving soon. Pop back to this one. I think I like this view better. Doesn't show all my fucking clutter in the background. Or as much of my clutter in the background. And yeah, I decided to go full screen with our educational streams. That way, when we are going and doing the whiteboard, it gives us the whole whiteboard. And I'm not having to move the camera around and shit. It gives us, that nice widescreen view. It doesn't put us in the vertical live feed, which kind of sucks. But with the educational streams, we don't get a ton of people that actually come through and stick. So it's more of operators on like computers and shit that we have stick around, or people on TVs. So the widescreen format is really what we get for the educational streams. But of course, I will be uploading it to the channel afterwards and making sure that we keep the live stream archive updated. Yeah, we didn't get a whole lot of traffic on this one, which I figured we probably would not. Like I said, I took it out of the live stream feed by doing it horizontally. So it was a calculated move. I think it's going to add more production value after the fact. And I'm going to actually start going through and editing them in the YouTube editor after the fact. So, galaxies, if you're on the actual, like on your phone or whatever, or say your tablet, and you're getting ready to go live, you can change that up. Change up that orientation. I don't think it'll let me pull another one up since I'm live right now. Let me see. Oh, well. So, if you pull it up, it's got that orientation button right there. It said it before it fucking went away. There we go. See, if you click that orientation button, it goes sideways, and that's how you get it to do the sideways orientation when you want to stream on your phone or your tablet with the mobile options. I don't usually do the sideways streams for like when we're working in the greenhouse and shit, because that's when we have all the plant mass and everything, and when we have people swiping through the vertical feed, we can catch their attention with the actual leaf and the biomass. Hell yeah, no problem, brother. I try and help any way I can. I want this to be a community where we can all get together, ask questions, and, there's no judgment. Nobody's fucking making you feel dumb because you asked a question. I just started live streaming, I don't know, like 3 months ago, something like that. So it's still a learning curve for me, but we're getting it down, I think. Let's see. If you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat. I'm going to probably stay live for about 10 more minutes to make sure that we get any questions, anybody that pops up at the end of the stream or anything. I usually try and go for at least an hour to make sure that, if we have anybody lagging or running behind, they have that chance to answer at the end of the stream. But while we've got that going on, let's see about getting some music going here. Ew. The fuck? I had to pull up fucking... Ew. It pulls up Yahoo, guys. I don't like Yahoo. Alright. Let's see here. Ready to open. Doodaloo. Sorry, guys. Not quite checking on the chat right now. No. What? The fuck did I just get? Ace browser? No, that's not. What? Oh, this is fucking stupid. Fuck you, Yahoo. I just want to do it online. There we go. Tell people all the time, try recording their vids holding their phone sideways so they can get the full screen vids. Hell yeah. My EC measurements, I think you're talking about the ppm scale. The ppm is the 500 or 700 scale. The EC measure, or the EC meters are just universal. They're all the same. Oh, fuck. Oh. There we go. This is a band called Embervine. It was previously known as Haven Effect. They're a local band here to the western slope of Colorado. And I've known Sean. He is the guitarist, singer, and songwriter. And he's given me permission to play him on the channel. So we do try and feature different artists on the channel. If you guys know of anybody who may want to be featured on the channel, let them know. And have them send us an email at the Green Corner Pod, or yeah, the Green Corner Pod at gmail.com. I had to remember. Let's see. Double check that. Yep, the Green Corner Pod. The Green Corner Pod at gmail.com. If they want to be featured on the site, we will get them featured. If you guys are looking for Embervine, you can find them on Facebook under Embervine. If you're looking for their music, you can find it on any of the streaming services. But you do have to look under the Haven Effect. They just rebranded recently, and Haven't gotten everything back in alignment yet. Damn it. Of course, my pen dies while I'm trying to focus. As for the 2.0 EC to parts per million, I'm not sure. Let's see. Alright, let's see here. Okay. So, for the parts per million, that is going to be based on your meter. So, if you're using the Hanna scale, that is the 500 scale, and it's the most common conversion scale used in North America. And so the EC times 500 is how you get that. So it would be 2 times 500 or 1,000 parts per million. If you're using the Truncheon scale, which is more commonly used in the United Kingdom, Australia, and in broader commercial agriculture, then that is the 700 scale. And you would multiply your reading by 700, making it 1,400 parts per million. And then there's also a 640 scale that is predominantly used by European meter manufacturers. And if you're using it's called the UTEC scale, and for that one you just multiply it by 640. So if you're at 2.0, it would make it 1,280 parts per million. So you find that EC, or you find the parts per million by multiplying your EC by that 500 or 700, depending on your sorry, I'm trying to turn it down a little bit. Depending on your meter. So if your meter is running on that UTEC scale, that's 640. On the Truncheon scale, that's the 700, and the Hanna scale is the 500. So I'm sure it says somewhere on your meter which scale it runs off of, and you just divide by that number, and that's how you'll find that actual EC there. If you guys have any questions about your sorry about that. I didn't look too far into the actual like EC versus parts per million, but it seems like it's a pretty simple conversion. So I said, guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat. If I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer for you. And make sure that we're not spreading any bro science and we're actually giving the scientific data. But, yeah, don't hesitate to ask questions. Don't, feel like you're going to be judged or looked down upon. This is a judgment-free zone. We, help growers of all different experience levels. We've got followers that have been growing for 20 years, 50 years. We've got followers that are asking questions about planting their first seeds. So, You know, I had a lady come into my stream, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she was asking about getting a cup or a planter set up for her first seed. Ah, okay. So, looks like the 500 scale is for sodium chloride and the 700 scale is potassium chloride conversion. Hashulia was able to look at the differences there. So apparently one measures the sodium, one measures the potassium. And then they utilize those numbers to get the parts per million. Okay. Yeah, so that's why using the EC meter does work a little better. That way, if, you know, you're conversing with somebody else and they're saying, oh, you know, I run at this, you know, level, if they're trying to, you know, run the same sort of nutrients as you or whatever, you don't have to worry about which scale they're using or if they're measuring the sodium chloride or the potassium chloride, because you're measuring that electrical conductivity, and that's what they're measuring and then multiplying to give you that parts per million. So you're just going down to that base number rather than getting a multiplied number. If you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. We're going to be on for a little bit longer. Just want to make sure we're giving everybody a chance to get their questions out there, get any other information out there that might be helpful. Like I said, we just try and make this a community where anybody can come and ask questions, and we can, you know, bounce ideas off of each other, and, you know, sit here and grow together, learn together, and, you know, continue to dial our grows in together. I believe in cannabis, and I believe that, you know, it's a helpful plant and can really turn people's lives around. You know, it helped me get off of opiates, helped keep me from drinking. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I haven't had a drink in almost 2 years. In November, it'll be 2 years, so we're up to like 20 months, something like that. But I don't keep track. It's not something that I really, you know, care too much to keep track of. But hell yeah, Fabian, I appreciate you, brother. There we go. But yeah, we're coming up on 2 years. But you can see my face fucking got ripped off. I've got fucking bunch of scars on my head. I was in a coma for like 23 days, so they actually called my grandparents. One of them lives in Idaho and the other lives in Iowa, and they called my grandparents and told them they should come say their goodbyes because I probably wasn't gonna wake up. So, and then after that, after I woke up from my coma, I got out of the hospital within like 2 weeks. Went up on a Thursday, didn't get out. Yeah, it was just shy of like 2 weeks. It was like 13 days. And I got into the intensive rehab section, showed them that I could do all the stuff by myself, and they released me early. But when they released me, they gave me 1 week's worth of medicine. 1 week worth of pain medicine. So I was able to find a pain management doctor and went through him for a while, but his clinic got shut down, or he moved or some shit, I don't know. And at that point, I was like, fuck it. I don't want to go through all this anymore anyways. And I started making all my own salves and tinctures and edibles and doing all that stuff, so. Well, yeah, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat. We're going to be live for a few more minutes just to make sure that everybody's got their canopy questions answered. I think I'm a lot happier with this setup than with the mobile rig trying to do the educational stream, especially since, you know, we've got the multicam set up and we're actually able to jump back and forth between the views and shit. I will be going live from the garden again at the latest Monday. I may go live Sunday if we have to water or something. I try not to do too much in the greenhouse on Sunday. It is my disc golf day, and I try and at least get a little bit of rest that day. But Monday is our Monday maintenance streams. It's when I actually go and put in all of my weekly maintenance stuff. So it's the day before my commercial shift starts. I work Tuesday through Saturday. So we go live Mondays. It's usually a longer stream. And we get everything done that we need to get done for the week. Hey, Fabian, I appreciate you, brother. I'm definitely glad that I'm here to tell the tale as well. I hit a guardrail at 80 and got ejected from the car. So, it was crazy. I don't remember, like, anything from the, like, whole week of the crash. Hasholio, no, I have not made an ace on the disc golf course yet. I've gotten close, but I haven't had the luck yet. My buddy did get, it was like a 200-foot putt, I guess. He was throwing a mid-range, but he threw it and had to go around this bush. It was last weekend, actually. He threw it, had to go around the bush, and when he went around the bush, he heard chains. We all heard the chains. And I had thrown at the same time, and mine went up and came back. And I was like, that was either me or you, man. And I was pretty sure it was him, because mine looked like it came down a little short. And sure as shit, when we went around the corner and saw it, he hit that basket from like 199 feet. Or, I think it was 199 or 201. I think my longest putt that I've made was like 99 feet. And that was around a tree. That one was pretty cool too. But yeah, Sundays for disc golf with the boys. My brother Logan that was on the stream on Sunday, he's the one that helped me put everything together for our Sunday disc golf round. And me and him are like the two that put it together and really keep it going. So he just moved about 30 minutes away, so we make sure that we get together at least once a week and are hanging out. But I'm actually waiting for them to get here. They're coming into town for the UFC fight tonight. Anybody else watching the fight? It's supposed to be on Paramount, I think. Paramount bought UFC, or the streaming rights or whatever for UFC. Alright, guys. Well, it's looking like... Oh. Oh, hell yeah, both y'all are watching the fight. That's what I'm talking about. Who do you think is gonna win? I know it's McGregor and the other guy. Who do you think is gonna win? I just asked the same question. Let's see. It's McGregor and the other guy. I want McGregor to win, but I'm Irish, so. Holloway? McGregor versus Holloway? Right? Yeah. Yeah, I want McGregor to win, but I'm an Irishman, as you can tell by the beard. But he's been out of the game for a minute. I was just talking about this the other day. I was like, he probably fucking ran out of money, huh? That's what happens when you live that kind of lifestyle. Gotta keep that income flowing. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys swinging by the stream today. And I appreciate all the questions. Hasholio, I appreciate you helping me get the answers on that. Excuse me. On that parts per million question. Connor looks good in his recent training bids. Hell yeah. Yeah, I guess he had to take steroids for a minute after the leg break to help him get back on track, but fucking let's see. We'll see how he goes, man. He's always been a real good fighter, so. But, all right, guys. I appreciate y'all stopping by the stream. We will be going live again Monday, probably earlier during the day. That way we can make sure that we get everything done before it gets too hot. Hey, Fabian, I appreciate you, my brother. But yeah, keep an eye on those notifications. We are going to be going live Monday. Like I said, it'll probably be a little earlier. I want to get in there before it gets too hot out there and really make sure that we get our plants taken care of. We got to do some cloning on Monday. And what else do we got to do? Cloning's the main thing. We got to get our clones cut. So I don't know. We'll see if he's going to be able to kick with that leg. Hell yeah. Spec, I appreciate you popping by, brother. I'm sure I'm saying your name wrong. But I appreciate you coming by, brother. I appreciate you ordering the shirt. If you guys are interested in the shirts, you can find them at the Green Corner Pod. Or no, the Green Corner .site. And same with the hats. We got the hats in as y'all saw. You can find them at the Green Corner .site. Hats, shirts, disc golf towels, stickers. We've got it all on there, so. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Remember, always